Hello everyone, Voodoo here, and in today's video we're gonna do a bit of a quick one and just go over kind of week 1 of the patch stuff. So like week 1 of season 3, not this week obviously, and just kind of talk about like early crafts, talent builds, that kind of stuff. Not really gonna do rotation. The guide video I put out will cover rotation perfectly fine. It was more so for BIS stuff. This is more so for early things. So go over that quickly. Of course, like the video, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And yeah, so quick little video today talking about talent trees and embellishments. Again, apologies if things sound a bit weird. I am sick right now a little bit, and also brand new apartment, so it's probably a little bit echoey. But with that out of the way, let's do talent tree. So right now for raid, this is actually the best sitting single target build. Actually, one second, let me swap that out there. So this is called Esoteric Low Mover by Bees, and this was cooked up after I recorded my guide video. I know my guide video, I recommended a cycle based build, which is really good if you have tier 30, which is the I-beam tier from Aberrus. This was cooked up after I did that. I obviously, because of my move on Monday, I did have to record things a bit ahead of time, which did end up meaning that obviously things couldn't be as up to date as I would like, but you know, things happen in life and we make do with it and we move on. But this is kind of the best single target build right now. If you're doing raid early on without a lot of cleave, in low cleave this can do fine as well, but in like higher cleave or burst cleave, I wouldn't really play this build. Stuff like Inertia and Unbound Chaos actually give you a lot of free cleave, and on top of that you're actually not even taking Deflecting Dance. Obviously you can take that if you want to with this, or even by dropping Isolated Prey in a more cleave based scenario. In single target I would drop Looks Can Kill. In cleave I would drop Isolated Prey obviously for Deflecting Dance if you need it for prog. But realistically this build's pretty good on a lot of things. It's ahead by roughly 3.5 to 4% from the other builds, but it's pretty good. It plays really easily. You're still just doing the Essence Break rotation where you backflip, otherwise you're just pushing Chaos Strike and you're not really moving at all. If you want to play a build that's more like what we'll play once we have the new tier set and we're at max eye level, because again this build is not what we'll play at max, then you can play Inertia pre-tier, which looks something like this. This build is going to have much better, like larger target count cleave than the other build does, because of, you know, stuff like the Immolation Aura talents, stuff like Unbound Chaos and Inertia, but it is a little bit worse on single target. Now again, if you are fighting things where Ragefire does really good, so like higher cleave, you can drop out Inner Demon for Ragefire and have that be pretty good. Lots of fights next year where Ragefire will be useful for you early on in prog, and this one's going to be a lot closer to what we'll end up playing once we get tier set and once we get all that stuff. So basically, you know, once we get our tier set, you drop this point for this, you drop this for this, and this for this, and then that's the build, right? So if you want to get used to the new stuff, you can play this one and practice. It is a little bit behind the other one. Obviously the flex point here, depending on what you need, a little bit behind the other one, but still pretty good overall. For Mythic Plus, I would just kind of play this build. You can swap out Glaive Tempest for Fel Barrage. Both of them are pretty strong and work really well. It's up to you which one you want. Whenever we get to the tier, I would recommend dropping Fel Barrage for like Soul Scar, and obviously moving all the points from Blind Fury and Critical Chaos back into the Glaive things, dropping Fierce Gaze, and just morphing it back to the build I showed in my guide video. But this is going to be a lot easier for you and is a little bit closer to what you'll play come 10.2 and the tier and all that stuff. It's pretty good, does some damage. You're missing a point Dancing with Fate because of Blind Fury, because of the tier set, but this is a pretty good overall Mythic Plus build. Again, Glaive Tempest and Fel Barrage are neither here nor there. I would personally do Glaive Tempest because Fel Barrage kind of interferes with Essence Break, but you do you. If you want to spew out a bunch of things everywhere, go ahead with Fel Barrage. So those are kind of the 3 talent builds I would use in the first few weeks before you get tier set. Obviously once you get your tier set, this video is no longer useful for you. Go back to the stuff I talked about on Monday. Now I do want to talk about embellishments because there's a lot of discussion right now about embellishments and about what's best, and the real truth of the matter is that it's really hard to say. So right now, if I can just put all my embellishments in my backpack instead of on my character, so we can talk to them all pretty easily. Let me find my blue silken lining here somewhere. It's this one. So right now I only have 1 blue silken lining, but you have 2. Embellishments come down to some combination of Toxic Thorn foot wraps, which are these boots that just deal damage, combined with a Toxic Armor patch, combined with maybe sometimes blue silken lining, maybe sometimes 2 blue silken lining. So it's some combination of these 3 different embellishments. And the difference between them is not very big and kind of entirely depends on what's happening in the raid around you, right? So on most single target fights, Toxic Thorn foot wraps is going to perform very well and sims very well. The sim baseline right now is 40% for blue silken lining. We're not quite sure where it's going to end up. It could be higher than that, could be lower than that. We kind of just have to wait and see. If it's above 50%, 55, 60, a little bit higher than that, then they're about equal in single target. At higher than 60, they start to blue silken lining just starts to pull ahead. So if your uptime is less than 50%, then Toxic Thorn is just a clear winner. If it's greater than 60%, then blue silken lining is just a clear winner. And if it's in the middle, you could honestly just play whatever. You could play boots and blue silken lining if you want. You could play boots and patch, and they'll all be relatively close to each other. I think Bees is going to put out some sims showing that boots and blue silken lining is actually kind of the best with 40%. But again, they're all kind of pretty close to each other, so I wouldn't really worry too much there. Now, the difference here is that at lower eye level, for raids especially, now this is all raid I'm talking about again, for raid especially, Toxic Thorn foot wraps will do more damage for you because its damage is based on its eye level, right? So if you come down and you get yourself a Spark of Dreams, I'm holding mine still to craft next week, once we kind of figure all this stuff out. It can be really good for early prog, but the blue silken lining is going to be really good at Mythic Plus. We're going to just use 2 of these. So there's going to be some weird situations where it's like, do I craft this? Do I craft blue silken lining? Blue silken lining, again, is really good on cleave. And there might be some situations where Toxic Thorn foot wraps is potentially over simming because it can proc and heal you. For Havoc in the past, that wasn't happening too much. We do think it'll happen more. One of our best trinkets, the Cataclysmic Signet brand, is actually causing it to heal us, which might make it a little bit worse than before, which might push for blue silken lining and boots to be good. But again, there's kind of a lot of different situations to work with. So if you're a raider, I would say if you don't care about a spark later, craft foot wraps first and then craft your blue silken lining, because the foot wraps here are going to be very valuable for you in single target just because their eye level's higher and your eye level's maybe a bit lower. And then blue silken lining is going to be very good for cleave fights or fights where you can have high uptime of that buff. And again, that's going to be something we need to figure out and see once the raid opens, which is unfortunate. If you're an Mythic Pluser, just play 2 blue silken lining. Put 1 on your wrists always, and then just kind of sim the other slot. Boots, belt, ring, all other good options, but wrist is going to be really good. So that's kind of the embellishment situation. It's a bit of an awkward situation. It's hard to recommend one thing, but you know, boots plus patch, boots plus blue silken lining, or 2 blue silken lining are all good depending on the situation, and we don't really know what that situation is going to look like. So I figured I'd come on and just kind of give this little video giving a bit of an update. I know I recommended Sport Cloak in my video. I think the night I put that video out, Sport Cloak got taken out behind the shed and like just shot in the head and killed. It's very, very bad now. 71 verse and a minuscule heal and a very tiny shield is garbage. Don't ever use this. It's not good at all anymore. But yeah, so embellishments are weird, and those are kind of the builds. So quick little early on in the tier update video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll have my Vengeance video tomorrow, I think Saturday, when you're watching this, and this I think should come out Friday. Then I'll have more videos like a Bisc gear guide and stuff next week. So like the video, subscribe, comment down below as well. Help me spread the video. Thank you all so much for the support on my guide. We're pushing up towards 8K now, which is big. Help me reach 10K. I would love that. And yeah, I'll be streaming this weekend and next week on Twitch for Twitch drops. So check that out. Link in the description. Go on the Discord. And yeah, so I'll see you guys all next time. Thanks for watching. Peace. A big thank you to all my channel members. Thank you to Andrew Keenel, Payne, Latand, Period, Brad Wisniak, Zooligan, Oxclamation, It's Bulk, and Howley. Thank you all of those people. You guys are great and appreciate the support you're giving me. If you want to support the channel and get a few cool perks in the meantime, click the link in the description. Brings you to a place where you can learn more about becoming a channel member. Thank you all so much. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.